Hello, and welcome to another edition of Philip's Podcast, or P Squared. Going old school again.
Oh my gosh!
We're going to continue our series of podcasts to get you ready for the FCAT in April, so you can be like the dog here and not be epic fail, but epic win. Today's podcast is going to be on problem number 2, square root of 4. Perfect square, rational number. Nice. The Bears from your FCAT review. So please take a moment and red light, stop, and read the problem. Next thing remember to do on the FCAT is yellow light, slow down, underline, circle, box important information. If you would, please underline or circle a box and whisker plot, number of hours, and underline the entire question. What are they asking us to do? What whole number best represents the median number of hours her students practiced playing the piano last month? If you would, please put a box or circle around median. That's a key word. Measure of central tendency. Booyah! How you like them bananas? A squared, period 2. Right here, a whole number is telling us not a fraction, not a decimal. Also notice they want our answer in number of hours. The box and whisker plot is also in hours, so that's nice. We don't have to do any conversions. We usually hop into our time machine and travel back in time, but we don't have to for this podcast because we're currently working on Chapter 7. This problem comes from Lesson 7.2, Box and Whisker Plots. If you would please, on your number line, fill in the missing numbers. Our interval, nice vocab, the Bears, is 5 because they're counting by fives. So fill in 15, 25, 35, and 45. They're counting by fives on our number line. Alrighty, this one's going to be easy pleasy, and then the rest of the podcast we're going to do a quick review. So here we go. The line segment inside your box is going to be the median of all the numbers. So if I draw an arrow straight up and an arrow straight down, my line segment inside the box is at 35. So the answer to this problem is going to be 35 hours. But let's go ahead and do a quick review. So those of you who don't want to follow the directions and you speed up to the end, you're going to lose points, so pay close attention. If you would, I'm going to ask on your paper that here at the end of the box, you draw yourself an arrow and make a note that the end of the box is going to be 40, and 40 is going to be the third quartile. The third quartile is going to be the end of your box, which basically means 40 is the median of the upper half. So on your paper, make a note that 40 is the third quartile. Again, on your paper, make yourself a note. The beginning of the box is known as the first quartile, and 25 is going to be the beginning of the box, or the first quartile. So on your paper, you can draw yourself an arrow if you want to. Make yourself a note. 25 is the first quartile, or the median of the lower half. Okay, they drew their box and whisker plot slightly different because in class and in the book, right here at the beginning would be your whisker. Nice vocabulary. Da Bears. And in the book and in class, we've been drawing our box and whisker plot with a dot here. Either way, make yourself a note that the beginning of the whisker here is going to be 12.5, which is the lowest number in the data set. Again, on your paper, make yourself a note that the end of your whisker here is going to be the highest number in the data set, which is going to be 50. So on your paper, make yourself a note. 50 is the end of the whisker. It's the highest number in the data set. Okay guys, a couple more things and then we are done. Remember that your box and whisker plot is broken up into 4 quartiles, or 4 parts, 4 quarters and a dollar. So if you would, on your paper, make yourself a note that this is a quartile, this is a quartile, this is a quartile, and this is your last quartile. On your paper, write the word quartile 4 times for the 4 quartiles represented in this box and whisker plot. On your paper, make yourself a note above the quartile here. This would be 25% of the box and whisker plot. Each one of them is going to be worth 1/4. On your paper, from the beginning of your whisker to the median of the entire data set, make yourself a note. These two quartiles put together are going to be 50%. Those of you who are thinking ahead, good for you. On your paper, draw yourself a little line segment here. And 3 quartiles is going to be like 3/4 or 75%. And obviously, the whole entire thing is going to be 100%. So make yourself a note on your paper that the entire box and whisker plot is going to be 100%. Alrighty, we're going to grid in our answer, which we did back in the beginning. 35 is the median of all the numbers. So if you would, go to the front of your FCAT review packet. We are doing problem number 2. Thanks for your help, Mr. Grouch. You have 2 choices. We're going to grid it in as a whole number. So you can put 35 right up against the box with the negative, not in the negative box, but right up against it. Make sure you bubble in a 3 and a 5. Or, your choice, you can put 35 all the way over to the right. Make sure you bubble in the 3 and the 5. Alright guys, I'm going to ask that you put your packet back on the counter and return your iPod so we can play some top score. See ya!